I'll sing a line and y'all sing it back. Hello, hello, good morning to you. Hello, hello, it's time to sing too. Sing high, sing low. We'll sing, 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 sing until we go. Welcome to Taking Notes. Play that intro.
We're taking notes. We'll have some rhythms and some games. We're taking notes. We'll sing some songs and learn some new things.
Welcome to Taking Notes. I'm your host, Miss Bauer, and today we're going to have some new segments. So first, we're going to have Playing It by Ear. Then we're going to go back to E Got a Song. We'll go over to I Got Rhythm, and we'll wrap it up with defining terms. So let's start with Playing It by Ear. Welcome to Playing It by Ear. In this segment, you're going to hear a sound, and there's going to be 3 options for you to guess from, and you're going to guess what instrument you are hearing. So we'll have 2 instruments, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to play the first instrument, and then we're going to reveal what it is. So I'll play a little song. So what do you think it is? Do you think it is 1, 2, or 3? Let's find out. It is number 2. So it is a soprano xylophone. And as you can see, I have a couple bars missing because I didn't need them. But my xylophone has keys. And it is within this bass. My key back on. And how I play are with mallets. And how I hold my mallets, I'm going to put my hand out. I'm going to take my thumb and forefinger, pinch it, probably a little bit like a third, and I'm going to wrap my hand around my mallets. I'm going to hold them at like an angle, like a pizza, and I hit in the middle of the bar. So I have a certain number and a certain set of keys that are up here on my soprano xylophone. Let's go on to instrument 2. For instrument 2, again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to play a little bit, and you either get to guess, is it 1, 2, or 3 that you hear? So is it number 1, 2, or 3? It's number 1. It's the flute. So you can see I have a flute here. A flute is a woodwind instrument. It requires air, as my other instrument, the soprano xylophone, was a percussion instrument because you hit things on it. You don't require air to play it. So how you play this instrument is I put my fingers on certain keys and I use an embouchure. It's a really big fancy word. But what I do is I go 2, and I make sure my lips are sticking out, and I constantly blow air through that 2, so. And so this instrument can actually go pretty high and go pretty low. So there are a lot of different octaves and sounds that this instrument can play. It's not inhibited by the keys that are in front of me. So I can play a lot of notes on this. Our next segment is E Got a Song. Let's head over to Keyboard Corner. So for E Got a Song, we are going to be singing Big Bunch of Roses. And it has a little bit trickier rhythm, so I'm going to sing it first. We're going to learn it, and we're going to try it with a really steady beat and keeping that steady beat. So the song is, big bunch, a little bunch, big bunch of roses, big bunch, a little bunch, big bunch of roses. So I'll sing a line and you'll sing it back. So my turn. Big bunch, a little bunch. Your turn. Big bunch, a little bunch. My turn. Big bunch of roses. Your turn. Big bunch of roses. My turn. Big bunch, a little bunch. Your turn. Big bunch, a little bunch. My turn. Big bunch of roses. Your turn. Big bunch of roses. And as you can see, our first rhythm, that big bunch, isn't a full beat, but really it's our eighth note, and then, so it's a 1 T and then a ta. So instead of TT, it's just 1 T. So let's just try that one measure, the big bunch of. So when you say it's gonna be when your hands are up in the air after your second beat. So, big bunch, a little bunch. Let's try it again, ready? Big bunch, a little bunch. So you can see how that rhythm's a little bit different than normal, and that's why we want to keep that steady beat for our rhythm. So let's keep this steady beat. Either you can pat your shoulders or clap your thighs. So we're going to keep that steady beat. So 1, 2, let us sing. Big bunch, a little bunch. Big bunch of roses. Big bunch, a little bunch. Big bunch of roses. Nice singing. Now we're going to head over to the rhythm station for I Got Rhythm for some new and interesting things. Welcome back to the rhythm station. So today we're going to be learning about the rest. And so if we review things that we've seen before, we had ta and we had TT. So our ta was 1 sound within a beat. TT was 2 sounds within a beat. But now we have something different. We have this Z. I'm gonna write it over here. This like Z. So what is this? And this is going to be a rest. So a shh. I'm gonna write it. Shh. Shh. So the beat still happens, but now there's no sound within the beat. So we're gonna want it to be quiet, and that's why we're going shh. So let's try number 1, and we have 4 symbols here, and if we remember correctly, ta is 1 sound within a beat, and it looks like the number 1. So if we look at this, is this a ta or a TT? It is a ta. Now if we look at our second beat, we see our Z, which is our new thing, a sh. So there are no sounds within the beat, but the beat still happens. So we know it's not a TT because this isn't the TT symbol. This doesn't look like 2 tas. This looks like a Z. So we're going to write our sh. And now next we're going to look. And we have 2 lines here, but are these lines connected? No, they aren't connected. And if they were connected, we would think it's a TT because a TT looks like this. But these lines aren't connected, so we know that it is this 1 line, and 1 line for us means 1 sound within a beat. So if we already had 1 line that looked like this, what do we put for it? We put a ta, so we should put another ta. Now our final beat looks like our first and third beat. So if it's the same, what should we put? Another ta. So now let's clap and count these rhythms. So if I was to pat my shoulders with my steady beat, or even pat my legs, I would say ta, sh, ta, ta. Try it with me, ready? Ta, sh, ta, ta. One more time. Ta, sh, ta, ta. Now if I were to clap it and clap the rhythm, which isn't the beat, because the beat still happens, but we're not going to clap here. So what we're going to do for clapping the rhythm's going to sound like this. Ta, sh, ta, ta. Let's try that together. So 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, sh, ta, ta. One more time. Ready? Ta, sh, ta, ta. Great, so now we're going to go over to our beat box, and we're going to pick up a challenge and I'm going to write it on the board. Okay, so here's our challenge rhythm. Now if we go through it, if we are keeping the beat, I'm going to tell you the rhythm, not the words though, but just what it would sound like. So, da, 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 da. Let's try it again, ready? So, da, 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 da. So now let's work through it. So, my thing, I have a connector here. So I have, it looks like the number 2 if I was to write like the number 1 twice. But now I connected it. So that means I have 2 beats and 2 sounds in 1 beat. So what is that? Is that a TT, ta, or is it a sh? It's a TT. So I'm gonna write T, T. So my next one, if I know this is a TT, and I only either have ta or sh left, does this look like TT? No. So I've narrowed that down. It doesn't look like TT. So now I just have sh and ta. Well, it looks like the number 1, and we know if something looks like the number 1, it's 1 sound within a beat. So what is that? Is that a ta or a sh? It's a ta. And so now I got my new symbol, and we already know our tas. The sh is the new symbol, so what should I put under my Z? Sh. And finally, I'm at the last beat. So my last beat looks similar to something already in here. I already have all 3 things that I know in here. So let's look at this one and figure out which one of the 3 did it look like. It looked like this one. It looked like the ta, so I'm gonna write ta. So let's speak our rhythm with a steady beat. So 1, 2, ready, go. T, T, ta, sh, ta. Try it again. Ready, go. T, T, ta, sh, ta. Now let's try clapping the rhythm and not the beats. Remember, we won't clap on our sh. It's ready. So 1, 2, ready, go. T, T, ta, sh, ta. Try it again. Ready, go. T, T, ta, sh, ta. And finally, we're going to go to defining terms. We're going to learn something new about music. So we'll be learning about line and space notes today. But to know about line and space notes, we have to look at our staff. And so the staff is what's in front of us, and it holds music notes. So we know what the music note is going to be. So this is kind of like us writing lines on papers, and so we write notes on the staff. So when we draw notes, they need to be equal. So the notes are always the same size. So as you can see, if I have my note between 2 lines, it's going to be the exact same size as a note that is on the line. Now you wonder why we put notes on lines and spaces? Well, think if we had 8 notes and they were only on spaces, that would take up a lot of space. So we also put notes on lines to condense our music. So we have the note on the space and it's the exact same size as the note on the line. So labeling the staff. Our staff has 5 lines that we can see and 4 spaces. But we count them a bit different. Normally if you count, you would count from like the top down, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually label our lines and our spaces going from the bottom up. So how will we count them is line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So my line 1 is the line with the 1 in the red. My line 2 is with the orange. My line 3 is with the yellow. My line 4 is with the green, and my line 5 is the blue. So if I say something like a note on line 1, you know it's going to be on that first bottom line. And the same goes with spaces. We label spaces between the lines. So for space 1 is between the first and the second line. So we have space 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, our space 1 is between line 1 and 2. Space 2 is between line 2 and 3. Space 3 is between line 3 and 4, and space 4 is between line 4 and 5. So let's try some notes. So if I say we need to find a note on line 2, we are going to start on our lines and we're going to count up. So you should count up 1 and 2. And so where would our note be? Our note's going to be on line 2. Let's try one with space. So if I want space 4, I'm going to count my space. Remember, the space starts between the lines. So I need to count 4 spaces. I should go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I know I need space 4, so now I'm going to put my note on space 4. That's all for taking notes. See you next time.